So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down on the Tuesday grid. And today, so late getting home. Such a late day at the office. It was pitch black on the road home. 30-minute drive from the station where I work to here in Weiden in Oberpfalz. And so I thought, you know what? Yeah, we're going to have ourselves a red drink tonight. We're going to have ourselves a select cocktail, right? So this is what we're having. It's just refreshing. It's wonderful. Got a bit of that fall bitter to it, right? Got a little bit of that air out there. It's been kind of rainy all day here in Bavaria. It's just wintry mix, and it's nice. And I thought this would hit the spot, and it does. Little Solver's Courage never hurt a thing. So let's go ahead and hop into our grid, see what we've got. So we've got an Henry Lynn David construction, edited by Joel Faliano. And I got to say, let's just jump into it, see what we got. So a frame job. Huh. All right. Well, I don't know. Well, let's see. America's Uncle. That could be Uncle Sam. Works for me. Chess rating system. Probably the ELO. I have no idea. Without company could be alone. Makes sense. So you think maybe a setup, because that kind of feels what it feels like to me. Not a say-up, a setup. There we go. Not mentioned could be unsaid. And irk could be to peeve. And now I kind of want to touch base on this right here. This hammers home. I can't help but feel that it'd be a tool something. But 4 letters. Bathed. Old style, maybe loved, as in like a lavatory. Amount of time for Kate Hudson to lose a guy in a 2003 film. It was like maybe 10 days or something. I think it was 10 days. Now my wife and daughters would have known this. I no idea. Speaker's platform could be a dais. And Pulp Fiction Studio. Keep up with that. A curve. Maybe an arc. And let's see. Attorney General before Merrick Garland would be William Barr. So, got it. First K-pop band to perform at the American Music Awards. And I think that's BTS. Okay, cool. Got it now. We're moving on. So I don't know what a hammer's home is here. So let's see. Actor Brody of The Pianist, and that's Adrian. Dazzle could be to awe. By the way, new subscribers and a couple of new comments. One of you said you liked my hat, so thank you. I mean, that meant the world to me. Really appreciate that. The other came from an individual who was trying to console me after doing The Guardian yesterday and getting smacked in the mouth, it felt like, right? You know, it was a simple little typo that kept me from getting the W on that UK grid. But I tell you what, those are very, very challenging for me. Venetian Magistrate of Old, and that would be a Doge. Sense of self, I guess an ego. And I guess this is what, a tool room? Makes sense. I have a dressing room, as I would, but I'm just saying, right? You know, you have a tool room. Maybe that's something like in a machine shop or something. I mean, I don't know. Or maybe there's some people who just have a tool room, you know, I don't know. So I think what many junk foods contain is probably empty calories. And that seems to be a phrase that's been pretty on par for the last couple of, probably the last decade or so. Father of a meal. Boy, what an ass. His dad's such an ass. Let's check that real quick. Totally stress out, maybe panic. So let's get back up here and in likes. I know that drives my Shotzi nuts when I get out of order. So one might be red or yellow in soccer, and I think that's a card. Which make a joke teller, maybe a comic. I don't know, I was looking for something a little bit deeper than that, but it is a Tuesday, right? So maybe on a whim, I'll just put comic in there and see what we've got. That's blank, don't do it. Chocolatey coffee orders could be mocha. I guess we're not doing the other. Okay, got it. Tracking. You get to spell this normal. So I guess that's a no-no. well, I'm a grown man, and I'm still told that by Shotzi on a regular basis. That's a no-no. Okay. So I guess vanilla ice cream with peanut butter cups and fudge are moose tracks. I'm really missing out on some things apparently, but I don't eat sweets. So, tattoo, maybe ink up. Pink vodka drink, maybe a Cosmo. And adverb that often precedes possible. I'm talking about maybe humanly. Lacks the ability to part of a baseball uniform. I'm going to go with a cap because I think this 11 down is cannot. So let's see where we go with that. Let's see what happens. Brouhaha could be a do. Very nice. Blank Suarez, former prime minister who lends his name to Spain's largest airport, and that would be Adolfo. And let's see, the N of an NDA, which would be a non-disclosure agreement. Fork over the cash would be to pony up. I had to reinstall the app here earlier. It just was not working well during the mini. We were able to get it recorded, but now all of a sudden it's like this is just ginormous in my face. I didn't adjust the size because it really is running late, and I'm trying to get the grids out on time. This is my part-time job. But I still have a full-time gig, keeping healthcare safe, or at least I'm trying, and that's just what this is craziness, right? So let's see what we got here. Pulp Fiction Studio. Now, maybe Miramax? Honestly, I feel like I should start paying more attention to that when I'm watching a movie that I like, but I just haven't. So maybe talking about Mahi Mahi here, and what a bill may become. I'm just a bill, a capital bill. Actor who plays Lieutenant Zulu in the rebooted Star Trek films. I haven't got a clue. Pickle container could be a jar. I loved the restart there. In fact, the young James Tiberius Kirk, the kid that played it, was remarkably looked like him, kind of like the fellow who played a young Han Solo did in the in the new Disney series. But newish. It's been a few years now. But I think, man, that kid looks a lot like Harrison Ford, but it's not Harrison Ford. So we had one of these machines when I was a kid, perched on a top. Very nice. Okay, so let's get back to business. Animal that is unable to fly with its ears, regrettably. Was up on points, maybe lead. Not sweet as wine, that would be dry, or auf Deutsch, trocken, my favorite. Slowly leak could be to seep. And frat party offering, beer. How about a toga? That's 4 letters. Animal that is I think this is an elephant, but clearly whoever constructed this grid has never heard of Dumbo. They can fly. So, neighbor of a Croatia. I'm going to go with Bosnia off the top of my head, but we'll see. Like waters during a storm, can be choppy, and I guess we've got a John. Is it John Cho? It seems like I do know, but now I don't know. Librarian's reprimand could be a shush. Is that shush or shush? I really gotta know. I could look it up, but something tells me the dictionary would give me both pronunciations as acceptable, and as a descriptive linguist, I would agree. But what's the standard, right? And is it geo-dependent? All these questions, I don't know. Got a ton of them. Chucks. Oh, that's just kind of gross. Maybe hurls. God. Fictional burrito on Parks and Recreation that literally killed a guy last year. I have no idea. My kids always tell me I have to watch Parks and Recreation. They say I look nothing like him, but that my personality reminds them of whoever Ron is. I haven't taken the time to even watch one episode, so I don't know, but I guess I'm going to need to figure that out. But this Parks and Recreation burrito that literally killed a guy, I got to figure this out now. This is great. Bestow knighthood upon, so maybe to dub in. Stand, Sir Christopher, and be recognized. Lead into Tosin. that would be oxytocin, I imagine. So that would make this probably Linux, which is what my home server is running here. And watch without intervening, so stat by. So yeah, I think we got oxytocin. Very nice. And I feel better about all of that. So is this going to be a tornado of some sort? Eyesore? Yeah, it could be a sty. Okay, I'm getting more and more hooked on this. I thought I was going to go in and get caught up on The Agency and The Lioness, but I might be watching Parks and Recreation here. I have no idea, though. I really get to get caught up on that. Let's just try to get in order here. So pile up is complaints. Manicured stretch of grass could be a lawn. And pile up as of complaints. I'll always be thinking like a barrage or something, right? Bite-sized Mars candy familiarly, maybe a mini Twix. By the way, I've noticed whenever I get on an airline, I always go to the duty free and I buy candies, usually like some nice individually wrapped candies, a big bag that I give to the flight attendants because they've got a really lousy job, basically, dealing with people at a really kind of meh, less than a half-star restaurant at 40,000 feet above the Earth's surface. I mean, it's kind of a thankless gig, and so I always try to buy them candies. But no matter what I get, it's when I get them the mini Twixes or the mini Snickers, it makes them the happiest. And I have to say, bravo, brava. Place of bliss could definitely be an Eden. Fortify with nutrients could be to enrich. That's the way to look at your port or your sherry. It's fortified with nutrients. Okay, yeah. Place to store cocktail making equipment, and I guess that could be a bar cart. I've got two, as a matter of fact, in our home bar. We've got two bar carts over there. They're kind of an important part, right? Mummify, for example, could be to embalm. And let's see, 2001 boxing biopic, and that would be Ali. And way of getting online, that might sound like beep, beep, beep. Aw, me. Yeah, okay. Dial up. Got it. That's clearly a 56. How does it all work? There was, you had a 14.4 and you had the, whatever, 28.8. I don't know. I remember them, but not enough to remember them. So packs down. Okay, so got it. Causes havoc. Looks like it's going to be reek. Pile up as of complaints. Maybe a litany. Okay, makes sense. So this might be a meat tornado. Violet variety. Okay, looks like maybe a pansy and Microsoft Teams. So Skype and so baking amount might be a teaspoon. I don't know. How do we do, Bob? Yeah, I mean, so, I wanted to tell a couple of stories and drop a little anecdote here or there, but honestly, this was a fun little Tuesday grid. And there wasn't a whole lot of anything in this thing that was inelegant. And as a matter of fact, it was actually quite enjoyable. I got to say, this was just a well-constructed grid. I loved every bit of it. And, wow, not a bad way to run through that, It was just one of these grids that didn't really, there was no theme, but it just made you, I don't know, it made me almost nostalgic for a few things, right? I'd never seen How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, but it reminded me of the time period when that was out. And that was when I was going through my officer's training before, after I joined the Army and before I had gone on my first deployment and started that whole 10-year period of my life where I wore a uniform. But honestly, fantastic grid. It elicited a lot of nostalgic memories. I thought it was really great. And some of the stuff was just really pretty cool. So I enjoyed it. Let's go ahead and just tap this on out of here and we'll bring down our beignet d'adieu. And again, just want to say thank you to the new subscribers for joining our little community. Everybody in here it's not a passive role. Everybody in here, they comment, they say what's on their mind. And I really appreciate that. It's a very kind and giving community with some very big-brained, beautifully intellectual people who are beyond kind, right? It's just been such a wonderful, wonderful community of people, and it's growing, and that speaks volumes to what it is that we as a community are doing here, and I'm thrilled to death to be part of it, so thank you so much. Again, my name is Christopher, and I'm delighted that you're here to solve grids with me. So until we see you tomorrow for the Hump Day Mini, Hump Day Grid, and the Hump Day Guardian, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, servus, grüß Gott, ciao, Cin-Cin. Au revoir, and until we see you, in the morrow. Be good to yourselves, be great to your neighbors, and be phenomenal to the persons behind you in the queue. Be well out there. Take care.